Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. Hopefully you've all had a smashing Sunday and a great weekend. This is going to be a Cardano ADA update video. We are going to start covering Cardano a lot more frequently on this channel. I am currently working on a way to deliver daily Cardano educational, fundamental sort of news videos, but that is something that I will announce moving forwards. It's something that we used to do and we'd like to get back to. At the moment, I am very tied up with sort of market analysis, trading, and really trying to make sure that we get this next bull market right and we're positioned very well into it, because it's my belief that a new bull run will come around, but there's certain sort of channels that we have to go through to get there. So this is going to be a Cardano update video specifically, all that being put to one side. And I really want to talk about the attack that Cardano continues to receive from the sort of media outlets involved in the crypto space, Twitter, and some of your sort of big personalities. Because this morning, we were essentially looking at the fact that you had Token Terminal come out and say active developers stats in Web3. Now, this was something that I was tagged in yesterday. Sorry, where is Cardano? Oversight. And he'd actually referenced the fact that I'd shown that in terms of developers, some months actually Cardano has been, I think for the month of October, Cardano was the most active. So for and Token Terminal, by the way, actually put out some great data there, or over at their Twitter, but they had actually decided to leave Cardano out of this. And you can see that you have Ethereum, Cosmos, Polkadot, Kusama, Filecoin, and lots of people took this and actually tagged Cardano in it and said, look, you see, guys, this is a ghost chain. There's nothing more behind it. And I don't know whether this is deliberate or through ignorance, but people are very much, I speak to a lot of sort of traditional financial guys. I speak to a lot of sort of big Twitter accounts, and a lot of them have a real bias against Cardano. And I think this has a lot to do with how Cardano started out, and how things have kind of evolved. And there is some genuine criticism that can be levied against Cardano. It is in some regards slower than other blockchains. Its smart contracts may be a little bit more cumbersome for developers to get acquainted with. There are some, and up until recently, Cardano didn't really have smart contracts. But now we've seen an absolute explosion and a boom within that. And we are going to talk about it. We see a 300% gain this year in smart contracts as of January. And this is something that is set to continue, and not just continue, but exponentially grow. And for me, when I look at Cardano, it's all about adoption. And this is a blockchain, ladies and gentlemen, that's been here in the last bull market, was in the top 10, and is still here today, and should be taken a lot more seriously and treated with a lot more credibility than I think it has. It really winds me up when I see criticism like Cardano is a ghost chain. That's still being thrown around. It has no dApps, it has no this, it has no that. It doesn't have a stable coin. What people are missing here is they want instant gratitude. Well, I'm far more excited about a project that has this coming up than it has already achieved it and the price hasn't moved as a result of it. So for me, when I'm looking to invest in something, I'm looking to invest in something that I can grow with and that I see a clear roadmap and path forwards for. And if Cardano achieve what they've set out to do, in my opinion, they are going to be a big part of crypto adoption, certainly in your emerging economies. And they really do have a far greater thesis attached to their, or a far greater vision attached to their blockchain than I think many others do. And I think with a lot of blockchains, unfortunately, it's how can we get the most amount of money and really maximize what we can take in terms of market share. Whereas Cardano has kind of gone, look, how can we build a blockchain that is usable, gains adoption and has all these sort of avenues attached to it. They really are trying to solve the blockchain trilemma of decentralization, scalability, and security. And I think they're doing it in a wonderful way. And the fact that they are maybe a little bit behind other projects, to me, makes me more bullish than not, because a lot of these other projects are where they are with the market caps they have, and they've actually supposedly got a lot more going on. Well, the fact that Cardano maybe doesn't have as much going on in terms of its ecosystem makes me bullish for what the future looks like. And certainly if we see the kind of growth that we are seeing, which we're going to talk about in this video, it's a very bright future ahead of us. So this, of course, was it. I got tweeted in this or tagged in this. So thank you very much. This is from Crypto Dom F, one of my followers, also a Ergo fan. I need to do a video on Ergo. And essentially then they decided to change and actually add Cardano in here. And you can see it's third. So there was lots of people using this as a kind of reference point to show that Cardano had no developers and this and that and the other. Well, in actual fact, it does. And it's third above Polkadot. One below, I think, Cosmos, or two below Cosmos, which his ecosystem has just kind of exploded recently. And he's doing very, very well. And we're seeing absolutely exponential growth in terms of smart contracts. We're in a bear market. We know what happens to total value locked within a DeFi ecosystem during a bear market when people want to pull liquidity out. But guys, you're going to see this in the billions one day. And right now we're in the 60 millions, which makes me very bullish on its ecosystem and some of the projects within it. We're also seeing recently Cardano had a 90% increase in daily active addresses. Bear market question mark. It is definitely a bear market. Doesn't mean that adoption stops. And actually now is I think it's a really good time for somebody that's interested in DeFi to start experimenting and exploring all these ecosystems, because it's a lot cheaper to do it now than it was during the bear market. And that makes me very, very excited. This is another one from Dr. Schweiter. Cardano network sees a 90% jump in daily active addresses. Number of Plutus-based smart contracts created on the blockchain experience a spike in early November. So we've seen a huge increase recently. And you've got the number of delegated wallets on the blockchain rose to 2.1 million. This is going to get to the tens, if not hundreds of millions, in my opinion. And the fact that we only have this many, given the sort of population of the world and the sort of market share that Cardano were going after, 1.2 million addresses and that's delegated to staking. It is not a great deal. I think in total there's are we 3 point something, maybe approaching 4 million in terms of overall wallets. But that, of course, people could make multiple wallets, so on and so forth. But there's a huge sort of market share that is still to be captured. And I think Cardano is going to do that. And I think it's largely going to laugh in the face of a lot of the criticism that has been levied against it. You can see in terms of developers here, you've actually got significantly more than many of your other projects out there, including Polygon, Elrond, Avalanche, Algorand, and so on and so forth. So it's the fact that this was left out, there is, and we have to talk about this, I think, a concerted effort to sort of, people don't want to talk about ADA. I notice it in the circles that I'm in. However, it is a real competitor, and you've got to remember it's really withstood the test of time. This is the current cryptocurrency coin market cap. Cardano is currently 9th. Dogecoin is above it, which is just hilarious. But if we look at historical snapshots here over on coin market cap, and we go back to the last bull market, it was in the pretty much exact same position, and we've seen many of the coins that we had here. It's 5th in the last bull market. Where's Bitcoin Cash today, or Litecoin, or IOTA, or NEM, or Dash, or Stellar, or Monero, or EOS, or Neo, or Quant, or Bitcoin Gold, or Verge? Where are all these coins now? Whereas Cardano has very much withstood the test of time thus far, which gives me reason to believe that it's going to continue to do so. Certainly given the kind of critical stage that it's at in terms of everything that's coming for it, guys. I mean, there's a hell of a lot coming out in January alone. We've got the Cardano fiat-backed stablecoin coming, which we covered. We've got Midnight. We've also got the likes of Jed. We're going to have all this kind of ecosystem growth. I mean, we don't even really, other than Indigo's synthetic stablecoin, actually have a kind of native stablecoin as of yet. I suppose Indigo's is, and nothing to be taken away from them. They are doing something pretty amazing. I think that synthetic, we're going into this world now, ladies and gentlemen, where everything is going to be on the blockchain. So there's going to be a synthetic version of everything. Property, rights, laws, whatever it may be. Patient records. The scope for blockchain is far and wide, and in terms of adoption, we are so early. There is hundreds of trillions in terms of markets that this technology is still to disrupt, and Cardano is absolutely going to be a part of that, despite the media, Twitter, and some of these big influencers' best efforts to really null and void that. And I actually have concerns for Bitcoin in terms of its longevity. I think that smart contract blockchains offer far more in terms of adoption and usage than the likes of Bitcoin. And there's actually a lot of questionability about Ethereum right now. This was something also from Token Terminal. Ethereum is unprofitable against inflationary. And you can see that there are actually external problems within Ethereum. And if Ethereum has all this, and Cardano is building it, it's getting it, that process has already started. You know, I'm very bullish on the future for Cardano. So let's do a little bit of price analysis. It's still our opinion that this bear market is absolutely not over. Please, if you haven't already watched my daily cryptocurrency markets on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space in general, please do so. It will give you a better feel of where we are in terms of a market. Few things to note. You know, there is a bullish divergence here for Cardano that you absolutely cannot ignore. And this does lead me to somewhat believe, I mean, we had a bullish divergence here, and then we had a rally off the back end of it. If I think that Bitcoin potentially is going to rally into the coming weeks, we've got this kind of trap that's being set. We've likened it to the setup similar before we had the March 2020 capitulation. Then potentially Cardano may do a similar thing. And actually, we've said for Bitcoin, it's not out the realms of possibility. You know, we've been bullish since, and short-term bullish, it's important for me to reiterate this, since we had the short squeeze here for Bitcoin, and we've called this and we've said, look, maybe it rolls here. We're playing Russian roulette long in it at the moment, but maybe we can get to some of these higher prices. And if we can do that, if we continue to see a persistently weaker dollar for a extended period of time in terms of over the coming weeks, there's no reason why Cardano can't join and sort of endeavor in some of these price gains. So we've got a double bottom here. Potentially, I actually think you're looking at a rally for Cardano, certainly back to the 34s. And potentially looking at these levels up here of significance. But in my opinion, you know, this is going to be supported by the overall market. And the problem that I have is this is how I see Bitcoin playing out. So I actually see a lot of similarities. You got this bullish div again. The last time we had a bullish div was going into March 2020. I think this is being set up right now, ladies and gentlemen. I think you're potentially looking at a similar play here, and this is something that we've been speaking about since sort of 15k when we called for that short squeeze. We also called for a short squeeze on the FOMC data. Sorry, not the FOMC data, the non-farm payroll. People are just too short. We need to get them bullish again, and we need, you know, otherwise the market's not happy. It needs to take liquidity off someone. So I think we need to get people bullish, and the problem is if I think Bitcoin's going to do this, Cardano will go in the same direction. You know, Cardano hasn't been selling off because it's bad tech or, you know, there isn't adoption and innovation taking place, more that the overall market conditions dictate it. This concept of liquidity that we talk about daily. So I do see a rally for Cardano with the rest of the market. However, if I think Bitcoin's going to do that, you know, you may see something like this take place for ADA, and then see some further downside running to these sort of lower levels, which we actually drew out in another video where we talked about areas where we'd actually look to buy Cardano. I mean, this would be an amazing buying opportunity, in my opinion, around about that 17 cents. We don't have to get down there. There's a lot that can happen between here and there. And we could see, you know, some sort of a springboard slightly higher up. This bull market will return, or a bull market will return. In my opinion, Cardano's all-time highs are going to get taken out into the future. For me, it's all about trying to find that sweet spot in terms of being an investor and protecting the capital that I have and not taking too much risk in terms of opportunity cost. That's all I've got for you in this video, guys. If you've enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated, so is a comment, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gents.